Hello, my name is Miko Reed and welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to go over a little bit of, I did a first video on my opinion on the guy taking the gal out to the Cheesecake Factory for a first date.
For those of you who aren't familiar with the story of the Cheesecake Factory first date fail that went viral over TikTok, just to quickly summarize, recently a story went viral on social media because a woman got upset that her date took her to Cheesecake Factory on their first date and refused to get out of the car, and even live streamed the ordeal as she complained to viewers over TikTok on how she was appalled that he took her to that restaurant. He tried to open the door like a gentleman and realized he was being recorded. She went on about how she felt this restaurant was a chain and beneath her, and that she's used to being courted, in her words, and expected him to take her to an upscale fine dining restaurant. He later revealed that he had plans to take her to a nicer restaurant, but that he had to change his plans because she was an hour late. Tisk, tisk.
Somebody decided that they wanted to make a list of 28 places on where not to take your date, and I guess it was just kind of like a spin-off off the Cheesecake Factory date fail. So I decided to make a commentary on the person that made a list of 28 places where not to take your date on a first date. And I have the list up here. Let's take a look at it. And of course, the first place on the list is Cheesecake Factory. A lot of these places that are listed on here, as you can see, all these 28 places, a lot of them are Olive Garden, Chili's, Applebee's. They got Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop. I mean, some of these places, majority of them, I've been to these places on dates, probably not on a first date. Half of these places on this list, I don't really consider them to be bad places to date. Where else are you going to take the person that you're going on a date with? Where else are you going to take them on a first date? So I don't really see why this would be considered bad places. First, Cheesecake Factory, I have no problem. I think I already went over that in the first video of the Cheesecake Factory date fail. Applebee's, I'd pass on that one, only because I don't like Applebee's. I don't like the food, not because I think I'm above Applebee's. It's just a basic, regular, casual dining restaurant. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Chili's is okay. I wouldn't mind Chili's. Chipotle, it's okay. It's okay. Probably not for a first date. Olive Garden, maybe in high school. And I want to mention before I go through all this list that a lot of things are to be considered, because some of these dates on this list are great dates for first date for people that are in college students, people that are in their 20s, people that are in high school, or they're struggling financially. Maybe they have financial setbacks. They're divorcee or they're widowed. Perhaps they're a full-time student with a part-time job, or they're just plain broke and they're trying to get their life back together financially. So a lot of these things are to be considered. Now, if you're over the age of 35 and you're taking your date on, it's like your first date, and you're taking them out to like like McDonald's, Burger King, or Chipotle, it's probably not a good idea to take your date out on a first date to those places, because you're already established in your career. You're about mid to senior level in your career. If you're in your 30s, if you're in early mid 30s, at least you should be. You don't have to be, but most, if you finished college and you did everything right and you worked your way up in the ranks in the corporate world or whatever profession that you're in, you should be in the mid to senior level in your career. So if you're over the age of 35, you probably can afford to take your date out to a nice upscale fine dining restaurant. Like I said, I have no problem going to Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, all the way up to Ruth Chris, Nobu, and Roy's restaurant. Those are considered fine dining restaurants. I live in California, so those are considered more upscale restaurants. But a lot of these places are great places for dates. I don't know why they made this list. This list is stupid. You go to all these places, you see all walks of life. I see baby boomers, I see Gen Xers, I see millennials, and I see Gen Zs there. Even silent generation. You want an ice cream date, bowling's okay, coffee dates, Starbucks. The only things I highlighted on this list, I highlighted the ones that I like that I wouldn't mind. Cheesecake Factory, movies, always a great date. Church, that's a great date for me. I mean, that's where I met my husband, so I don't have a problem with that. I think, say you're going to church, like a Saturday evening service, you're going to church because you get to find out more about that person. You get to find out more about their background, their core values, and where they stand. And you get to know a little bit more about because you just get to kind of see them and read their body language. You get to talk about the sermon, ask questions, and you get to find out more about where they're coming from and what they really believe. So I think that's a great first date, and also he could have reservations at a nice restaurant afterwards. That's a perfect date. And then maybe even further, you can go to the beach, cruising through the beach, or you can park your car at the beach and you can go walking on the pier. I think that's a perfect date. And maybe have some ice cream afterwards. So I think that's great. Nightclubs, I wouldn't really say nightclubs, maybe a bar, and you can have some like appetizers and food, or concert. That'd be even better. So a bar with some live music. I think that's a great first date. I think it is. And then you can just go walking if you want to, because it gets kind of loud. The only thing is it gets loud and you can't talk. But I think that's a nice date to take somebody. A bar for just some drinks, that's something that I would do. I mean, it depends on also your personality. So you have to kind of read that person and get a feel for what they like and what they don't like. Because some of these things they might not like. A lot of people aren't into nightclubs. A lot of people aren't into bars. So they would be opposed to going to those type of places. Sports events, I'm all about that. Those are great. Go to a baseball game or basketball game, football game, and you get to eat, you get to drink, you get to laugh. I think that's a great place to take a date. So I wouldn't be really opposed to that. The only places on here I did cross out that I don't think, in my opinion, are good places to take someone on a date. Movie night in, Netflix and chill. Nah, that's probably not a good place to take your date. For obvious reasons. You're not going to be doing much talking. And I just don't think for a first date, in my opinion, if you're looking for a long-term relationship and you're looking for a real relationship with that person, getting to know them, if you're just looking for a casual date, then have at it. But I wouldn't think that that'd be a good place to take a woman on a first date. If your intent is to date for the purpose of getting to know them and having a long-term relationship with them. Another one, let me see. I crossed out family functions only because if you're getting to know them, you probably don't want to introduce them to mom just yet. You don't want to introduce them to mom or dad because you're still getting to know them. And yeah, you're still getting to know them, and it's a little too overwhelming. Because mom's thinking, oh, okay, you're getting married to this person? Because you don't want to give that wrong impression. You're still getting to know that person. You're not even sure if they're the one yet. So you want to take things nice and slow. And then when it gets to that, that's when you make a move and decide that you want to introduce your significant other to your parents or your family. And like I said, a lot of these places are good places to date. I mean, where else are you going to take somebody on a date? I mean, these are great places. I see all kinds of people there. A lot of things are considered, like I mentioned earlier. If you have some financial setbacks, if you're a college student, if you're in high school, if you're in your 20s, then Olive Garden, Chipotle, Chili's, fast food, those are perfect places for you because you don't have any money. You don't have that much money, so you're on a budget. Maybe you're a widow, divorced, you have some financial setbacks. But if you are in your 30s or you're in mid to senior level of your career, you can afford to take your day out on a nice restaurant, whether that be something, either it's nice casual restaurant, like maybe you want Cheesecake Factory and then you take them to a play afterwards. I think that's great. You can take them to a cheaper restaurant if you're on a budget, and then you take them out to see a live show, a performance, or you go take them to a theater. I think that's a great date. Or you take them to an upscale dinner and then You go to a bar afterwards and have some drinks, have some beers. I think that's great too. So it all depends. A lot of factors are to be considered in this. I don't think it's just like, oh, that's a terrible place. I crossed out gym because only I don't think that would be fun for me. And it also depends on the person. Not for a first date, because I don't want to get all sweaty on a first date. Gym is more for something I do because I have to do it, not because I want to. It's to work out. I like to work out either with my husband or solo. I just want to get it done and out of the way, do my cardio, my weights, and get it out of the way because I don't want to have to. That's not really fun for me. It's more like a routine, more like something you have to do, kind of like brushing your teeth. So that's all I wanted to comment on that. I just wanted to comment on the list. I think the 28 list of places not to take a woman on a first date, I think it's stupid. I have my opinions on places on here that I wouldn't like to, only because it doesn't sound fun for me, not because I think I'm above those places. But you shouldn't really make lists because, well, anyways, that's just my opinion. So I just want to give my 2 cents on this list that came after the Cheesecake Fail date. So I just want to give my 2 cents on that. All right, see ya.